Like the most randomized settings that we're gonna see. Full countdown, full area, full boss shuffle. And they're off.
Yeah, we're hoping for an exciting race. We have, I'm gonna call him Metroid MST if that confuses anyone looking at the layout, sorry, but that's just what I know him as. Famously took out one of Nevdi's mentors and best friends in the randomizer community last season, or not last season, sorry, last year in the tournament. So MST's a bit of a giant killer. Nevdi hoping to avoid the same fate, but been a little bit of trash talk, a little bit of feigning. I think they're both being coy about how they feel about this race, and yeah, it should be exciting. This is they both won their gravity race in the last matchup, and then Nevdi also sealed Game 4 to advance for the Vileplumes. MST didn't end up playing in Games 4 or 5, but team is here anyway, and it's a 1-0 lead currently for the Vileplumes, so looking to either take a stranglehold on the series if you're Nevdi and fight back if you're MST.
So we know that they can play the mode, but still anything can happen here. And we're gonna get a missile to start. That puts Morph Ball in the ceiling, and then there's going to be 3 other majors in this starting criteria region.
This very early part of the... Sorry, you go.
Yeah. So just starting with the damage boost test off the B. Giving Nevdi a little bit of a lead. And already supers.
In the very earliest part of the game, other than, getting your Morph Ball, which has to be down here, you want to be able to find, the sometimes more difficult to find ammo items. We got the supers, those are nice. If we can also spike a power bomb, that would be nice. We get bombs instead, which obviously with the 4 majors we knew were in here to start out, we're now down to 2 of them, and bombs, especially earlier, probably when they're most valuable. It's going to open up some things as far as, bomb block checks, as well as, some verticality to check some other things if you so desire. And everyone's favorite in area, you're gonna isolate this transition over here behind the Morph Ball and hope to pop in there from the other side, because if not, it's a long way back down here.
Yeah, with supers and Morph Bombs already, that opens up not all the checks, but the majority of them. So not gonna leave too many things behind. But there's still pretty much always going to be something left behind in criteria. As you said, well, unfortunate about the transition, but we can hope to see that later from the other side.
Yeah, 3 items that we cannot get their power bomb blocked. One of them is here, the climb supers. One of them is criteria power bomb. The other one is the moat. So there's also a chance we don't look at some of the items. For example, you could choose to do Gauntlet, you could also choose not to do Gauntlet. With just bombs, it's not in logic without 2 more E-tanks, but you may or may not care about that. And it is definitely, I would say, if you're going left anyway, 3 chances at power bombs, especially early, that would be too much for me to pass up, but our runners may feel differently.
Yeah, that kind of depends on how they feel about power bombs, I guess. Like, bombs does open up a lot of checks through breaking bomb blocks alone, but there's still power bomb specific blocks that you need to get through, and doors. Gauntlets, they could do it with just bombs. There's some slight risk there, and that's why there's the extra E-tank requirements. But it also takes a little bit longer with just bombs, so it could put it off. And there's also the good chance that your majors aren't up there. But we get power bombs. So they're set up to clear the seed pretty well so far.
Yeah, that definitely changes the equation.
Is.
Oh goodness, yeah. MST just says, psych. I don't want to look at that right now. Which, this was the item check most on the way to this left stuff, so that is that's not gonna reward him with the power bomb. Depending on these transition checks. Could be forced back there anyway. Super Missile does open up one portal on the right side. But if he keeps going here, this could be
Wreck ship
could be
front.
kind of bad. There is also there's the point of the fact that, you know, because power bombs are early, there's not going to be any hard gating more power bombs. As you see, we just get another one here.
Okay. So save time on that skip until MST needs to either go back for the check or having that extra power bomb count becomes important.
Yeah, and here was the other risk.
The back of gauntlet check here. So it has a little bit of information from that. And just a super pack and not really noteworthy.
Yeah, so we've got 4 unknown items and 2 majors left. One of them is still completely unattainable at Criteria Super Missile, the Shaft Supers, but
Nice Kago.
a vanilla transition. Always fun.
Yep. So 2 majors here in Green Brinstar. There's a lot of checks that can do pretty much all of them, just not Waterway. And it's also a great place to find miners and potentially E-tanks. It's very dense for items. Especially coming from this side, where you get most of the items up front. And already a charge beam.
Yeah, so far a pretty friendly seed, you know. Miners were early. MST even found, you know, an extra one that wasn't necessarily the first one you could have found. Skipped a BT fight out of it. Early charge beam does some nice things for you, especially if you know, can find the other powerful beams with, you know, some speed. You can do a lot of ammo skipping, as far as especially the regular missiles. Super missiles are a little bit different, and yeah, the portals have been nice. We're just cruising along here.
Yep. At this stage, you're still looking for ways to kill all the bosses. So that's Ridley and Dragon. So you're still going to be collecting ammo with regards to Ridley. Just charge on its own isn't really strong enough to take that fight. And then there's also still one more major here in Brinstar. They're going to be clearing a lot of checks, just looking for the majors, and that's going to naturally lead into finding more ammo throughout the entire seed.
Yeah, this is also if you find, like, you know, if you find Greenbrand for the first time on from this direction, you know, pretty much the vanilla direction, I think it makes it a lot easier to just kind of go on the, like, normal full clear path. You don't have to make decisions about, like, you know, big pink and faster or slower checks that oh goodness. There's our favorite thing about our runner over here on the right side. I'm sure someone will pop an emote in here to tell us how MST feels about certain reserve tank items, but those things can be impactful. Nevdi is going to pick that up. I'm gonna spoil that for everyone, but yeah, early health can be a factor in these.
Yep, you never know when you're going to run into Upper Norfair. And these random energy tanks and reserve tanks do count towards that health needed to put those checks in logic.
Also, with the potential of a Ridley not in Lower Norfair, reserve tank is really helpful in that fight too. If you end the fight and your reserve still has some energy, the grab will drain you down to 0, but it's not going to pop your reserve until it's all over, and you'll have, you know, all that time before the health drops with your reserve. So if that matters, you know, we'll see in the long run. But in the meantime, we're going to, you know, hope to find this last major in Green Brinstar. There's obviously the chance that it's in Waterway and we won't be able to do it quite yet, but
Yep. As you said, coming from the elevator door. Pretty efficient to do all these checks in order. If you find the majors early, you can know where to stop. It's just these ones at the end are slower.
Yeah, and MST is choosing to do all the ones in this room first. With the lack of energy, I kind of like just kind of doing the Hundo route. Even if you find that major early, like especially E-tanks are going to be very valuable. But
So
MST
I think we're
says no
seeing a
to him.
trend in how MSC is playing, like going for a couple skips to save a bit of time on Nefty. And does land on the plasma beam, finds the other major. And so this is 3 extra checks that Nevdy's going to do here in Pink Brinstar that are not going to be the major.
Yeah. Did call MST a bit of a giant killer toward the beginning as we find a red tower portal. No items there, which is pretty typical, but yeah, he is despite what I was talking about, eliminating one of the other members of the Vile Plume in last summer's tournament, is probably still considered a bit of an underdog. I would say Nevdy's definitely more focused on this randomizer. MST does some GBA Metroid stuff as well as other things. So, and I want to say Nevdy probably has a little bit of movement advantage. I wouldn't call it something super significant, but it's there. So MST is doing, what he feels like he needs to do in order to, cover some of that, favoritism that could go in Nevdy's favor.
Yep, and it's working out so far. Made some skips and not punished yet. So it's going pretty well. The red tower transition here is going to give them access to more choices. Running into Upper Norfair, as they just did. Not something you can really do on just the 1E tank. Not quickly, at least. So we can go down red tower. Many portals, but no majors here.
Yeah, could choose to do alpha or beta power bombs if he so desires. The other thing that now that we have found a Norfair, Nevdy has been fully in that reserve. I don't know if it's completely full, but there is energy in it, as you can see with the auto, and also has that extra power bomb pack from BT, so has the ability to crystal flash.
Yeah, so 3 items in Upper Norfair. If Nevdy really wanted, this CAC room is pretty good for filling your reserve. But I'm just gonna head off to the red tower portal, which goes to the cool side of Upper Norfair. Okay, E-tank we're not getting anytime soon. But this is the better area for MST to be making his checks, because you don't need as much health.
Yep, high jump area first. We're gonna potentially look at Ice Beam. May or may not have a Sascum involved. We have, I believe, all missiles in this particular part of the zone. So MST isn't gonna pick up any of them. It looks like if he has his way. Nevdy choosing to do this door instead of these items. More red tower, of course. Why not?
So MSC is planning on leaving after doing the high jump and ice beam area checks. So it makes sense to get the transition check afterwards if you want to follow it through. But going back through the left door is still red tower, and there's still 3 or 4 transitions over there that MSC doesn't know about. So it could go either way.
Yeah.
So it's fine to...
Yeah, if you go right, you're kind of pricing yourself into potentially skipping that middle red tower transition because you're down at the bottom where the other stuff is. There's Ice Beam, just a little bit below where it's supposed to be.
That's one item.
MST executed well. Yeah, if MST executes well, it's definitely a get in and get out thing that you could do. I'm assuming he just wants to see this item and then he'll make a decision about whether or not he comes back for that immediately. He's gonna be tight. He's got to get these drops in quickly. He does. Nice.
Yep, can't get out of here though. So that's a reset. Going back for Ice Beam kind of depends on how you feel the seed will go from here, I guess. Like, you have to think that ice is going to be important in the seed at all first, and then kind of soon, like before you get back to this area later.
Yeah.
Ice is good to have though. So it's not wrong to just go get it.
Yeah, I have a feeling Nevdy's probably just gonna get this right here. Yeah, he is. And got to it before it disappeared again, so that's good. Ooh, and nicely done getting out.
Yep.
So yeah,
Really done. Really well done, Crumble Tower. Seen some rares have trouble there, but this tournament.
doesn't quite have a 10th super. Ooh, actually, it is a super missile. So if he wants to, like, yeah, he can actually get there, pick up the super, and then we'll have enough for a Crystal Flash. So this is actually gonna work out pretty nicely.
Well, he needs to not count on that. Should expect to be able to get the item and get out, or else you're gonna be resetting your ice beam.
Ooh, yeah.
Because he wouldn't know.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, the power bomb didn't kill one of those Sovas.
Saved by the super. Oh.
He didn't have the thought that I had. Much easier to do it, you know, from the sidelines. But yeah, both of them
Love that ice
resetting.
beam.
So yeah, MST's here in Red Tower. I was paying so much attention to Nevdi. I don't know if he did any door scouts. I would assume probably, but he is up at he's doing this. Ooh, Nevdi probably just is going here to scout Cathedral. That's my guess.
Yep. Cathedral is a hot spot for having major progression in Barrier Randomizer. Oh, neat tank.
Neat tank.
Maybe if he got it before reserves activated. But you still lose a lot of health getting back. So probably couldn't have continued through.
I think the knowledge there is more powerful than, like, especially an E-tank. Especially if you're not going to continue with these, which is what I'm assuming.
It is East Meridia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm remembering to watch the transitions, but forgetting the countdown number.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that either, darn. I didn't even see West Meridia for that matter. So, he's back. MST's back here. Nevdi is going for this ice beam. Again. Once again does well. And MST is doing the same.
Also going for the ice beam.
Ooh, that's not good. It's not good. It's bad. Alright, I believe this is doable, but it's tight. Ooh, it's not.
Oh, the reserve isn't full.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate.
If he ran straight to it once, just run straight back. Imagine. If you think it's worth getting.
Oh, and MST also fell, but had the wherewithal to freeze that Sova on the way down. That was very nice.
Yes, he needs to not get hit by a Disgiga.
Shout outs to Plasma Beam. Ooh, really close there.
Hey, that was close. But he's gonna make it out of here now.
Bit of a high five, and now MST is back to the lead that he had early with those skips that he did. Obviously it's not the hugest lead ever, but he's got some stuff going for him.
Yeah.
And
MST right now is a little bit ahead in what they're both doing right now, and also has more information of the map. Specifically Red Tower, he's done more transition checks. It's another death to Crumble Tower.
So MST is doing some of these checks. He's thinking about, you know, doing some more upper north area. You will need more energy, and he, you know, as steadfast as he is in his energy skipping as far as, you know, reserve tanks, he does know that that is part of the logic and that it could be, you know, sending him that way, especially with, you know, a lot of criteria is available to him that he didn't do. He skipped several green Brinstar checks, so on the lookout for these E-tanks.
I missed this transition before.
So did I.
It's
More
Croc.
up and
So
This
that's
has been,
it's almost all the Upper Norfair portals.
yeah, it's always good if you're in a situation like this where, Upper Norfair is a thing that's on your mind, but, as well as how running to the items, you also have to
Right.
how run to the transitions. Finding them from the other side is very nice because that's a lot less of an energy requirement. As yeah, we're oohing eyeing at a tube crate.
Yep. So we have an E-Tank here. That's a pretty nice find for Nevdi. That's early on.
MST was having the thought that I was having, which was there's two right side criteria portals that we don't know about that as well as some majors in criteria that could be helpful to us. So he's doing quite a backtrack. We'll see what Nevdi thinks at the end of all of this. This boss is also, potentially a big boon in his advantage. Especially, I'm gonna say Phantom would be the biggest one, just because we've seen Wreck Ship.
Yeah, Rickship has one item, one major, and it would activate that. Ridley Dragon would be bad, and that looked like a Ridley.
I don't even think he stayed long enough to see the number. If he did, it was too fast for me.
Well, me forgetting to look at the number.
Oh yeah, that time I was looking and I did not see. So hopefully someone in chat can inform us if in fact the number was visible. So yeah, no boon for Nevdi other than knowledge. Tube's a as it's as out of the way for MST's route as Tube and Red Tower can be. So it's also like one of the dead ends out of the way, so you're a little bit less worried about following some less than ideal transition locations. So
yeah, it's definitely really good to know about that transition. It also helps potentially to know the Ridley location in regards to Lower Norfair and Varia.
yes, Nevdi was in chat for the last race talking quite a bit about that. Preparing for a suitless Lower Norfair. So that's definitely, with the seeing Ridley, something that'll be on his mind. I have questions about this it's so weird here. Like, you're definitely gonna save scum this boss, right? West Meridian 1. Write that down before you forget. If you want the item at Spooky Missile, you obviously want to do it first. My question is, if you really, really want it, maybe you do it before the save, because if you do it after the save and then you reset this, boss here, which looks like it's resettable. Ooh, 3 in East Meridia. That's crazy. In
Right,
theory, we already knew that.
That's both of the unkillable bosses. Into right now.
Yeah, like this is exactly what I was thinking about. Like, if you're MST, like if you want that super, you wasted an entire fanfare, getting it and then getting it again. But it's just kind of one of those things. Like, kind of both options don't feel the greatest, but
yeah, pretty much that.
Kinda.
It doesn't feel great to go down and get it first, or to just reset it away.
Yeah, we do have a really good beam already. Charge Ice Plasma, so supers aren't the most needed as far as an ideal route through the end of the game. With that includes finding Varia, obviously, and yeah, both of these runners are not doing Norfair MST, without crate knowledge, but otherwise ahead on what it looks like they're probably both going to be doing. Really don't know what Nevdi's doing here, other than farming power bombs.
Farming power bombs could mean going to Upper Norfair. MST did get the scout on Meridian map transition.
That's true. That's something Nevdi hasn't done, and
But otherwise, they're moving in this same direction together. MST about to get his power bombs from Bomb Chorizo.
oh yeah, Nevdi is going into Upper Norfair from single chamber. That's what's over here at New Bridge. MST finally making up this power bomb disadvantage. With how the ammo is laid out, this isn't going to be... Actually, does Charge Plasma one-shot BT, and is one-shotty BT even good? I don't know. No, it's only 600 damage.
It's not enough. But still, it's fast enough with missiles and supers. It's the activation time and the death explosions that cost the time.
Ooh, that's not a hit Nebby wanted to take. But like with that power bomb farm, he is in
He went
a
down.
situation where he can crystal flash.
Barely.
Barely.
Down to crystal flash. Let's get it off. I was expecting immediate bubble mountain because that puts you close to the farm spot. But this does work out.
Yeah, provided he can get to Bubble Mountain, it will be good. Or, you know, I mean, this being an E-Tank would definitely be probably the best outcome, especially considering, you know, future checks. But
Gravity seeds.
I may have just been, you know, shown up by the seed. Saying, you know, you think an E-Tank is best, and I'm going to show you what it really is.
He does have to be able to keep it. Missed the jump. So, a few frames lost.
Ooh.
Okay, did get that jump, so should be okay to make it to the cool room. Don't hit the dragon. Don't hit the viola.
Oh, he definitely wanted to shoot and not lay a bomb there. And we both just missed a transition over there on MST's side as the phaser that you like can't avoid. That's rich.
It's a good spacer placement. Well, if MST had gravity suit, they'd be away.
Yeah, so hopefully someone in chat can tell us where what MST saw at the crab portal in Criteria. Otherwise, we're just gonna hope that he can get the CWJ with some speed. And if not, we do have the horizontal bomb jump backup, just like any percent. Ooh, stayed on the platform. A nice save. There we go.
Okay, gets up. Just a couple room resets. It's a crop one.
You have charged plasma MST. It's not equipped, but you have it. As you can tell, he cannot hear me, so he's just going to use all of his ammo for no reason. And yeah, huge play here with Nevdi already finding a suit here, and you know, doing some otherwise. You know, these are not the fastest checks. We only have 2+1, so. And now plasma's back on.
Yeah, as you say, these upper Norfolk checks are pretty slow to go through all the items. But they end up paying out pretty well. Gravity, huge find. And Nebdy's gonna run into that Dragon and will be able to blindly kill it. Already knows where Ridley is, so and kill all bosses that he's gonna run into from here. That's pretty good.
So, all croc items are accessible. The E-Tank is a bit hard to keep.
Yeah, these
We'll
croc
see.
checks aren't the fastest either.
Yeah. Decided to just go for the bomb jump here. There's a deep boost, which can be a little difficult, and then I don't know if you can, like, if you're trying to use ice to get them closer and then freezing them would be better than just bomb jumping, so. Ooh.
Okay. Gets the major right away.
Not necessarily what you wanted, but, you know, grapple's a pretty good item. Nevdi is...
Seems good, not having gravity.
Yeah, I'm surprised Nevdi's bomb jumping here instead of freezing, but he is.
This Norfair Reserve Room, let's eat your time.
And a very low place E-Tank there. Gonna pick that up on the way out. And gravity, the other thing that makes this room a whole lot better because we have
Just
normal
run through the
physics.
lava. And kill everything with plasma. So you can do that room really fast. And you're not going to take lava damage because of that gravity.
MST doing us a favor and going back through this portal. Ooh.
Top of Meridia.
And that makes this grapple also pretty good because he can swing over to the right if he so desires.
Oh, yes. Then, not sure what the plan is over here on the right of Everest, though. You can do pretty much everything over here with just ice, but I think it's mainly for the transition.
Yeah. And there's our final major in Norfair. It's Wave Beam, so that's full beam for Nevdi. This is
Okay. Front of East Meridia is not a good find.
yeah, and it's been a location, funnily enough. I'm gonna say that these more recent sequels of events have come up pretty hard, Nevdi. Provided he can keep this wave beam, which is not a guarantee. Probably has to pause here, but
Yeah, pause would help. Turning off ice would help.
He did not pause or turn off ice, defying us both.
But yeah, in the farm spot, so can be able to fill up on health and take the exit of his choice. I'm guessing Croc Door, because there's a energy refill kind of on the way.
Also the only one we haven't seen yet. And we're getting low on outstanding things. We have not seen either side of Lower Norfair yet. That is probably the biggest thing we're looking for at this point.
So
and Turian. We haven't seen Turian.
We haven't seen Retro Bryn transition, and that's kind of where MST is closest to. But maybe going back to the like the main street entrances to fast travel over to Red Tower.
Yeah, this will take him back to Red Tower. He can clean up the tube if he so desires. He will be in the middle, and he can also do this crab super check.
So yeah, back of Lore Norfair, back of Wreck Ship, Retro Bryn, and Torian are left.
So there is the chance that that's our only entrance to Lower Norfair, and we'll have to do that, at the end to end up getting our Turian at the back of it, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. We've still got two portal boss areas that could end up that way.
So coming into Mama Turtle here, doesn't have a way out unless there's exactly Spring Ball or High Jump to do it, if they're here.
I was wondering if some enemy freezing would be able to do it for him. He does have ice plasma, but I don't know exactly. What the reserve is definitely resetting. Just perfect. Just absolutely perfect. And
so we're kind of in the problem for MST is that it's been finding reserve tanks but hasn't been able to keep them, and now doesn't have the health for Upper Norfair.
And yeah, it's East Meridia 3, right? Like that's looking like where we need to go with this gravity suit that is gonna take more health than MST frankly has, unless he wants to do some crazy crystal flashing all over the place. And yeah, Nevdi's just on that path.
Right. So we're saying, or I'm thinking MST probably goes to Blue Bryn here, and none of those transitions will be helpful. There's still one item in Criteria that could be useful, but Nevdi looks to be in a great place as far as the race goes, and does get this Meridia map check now too.
Yeah, could have chosen to stick around here and try and dig out this one item, but I'm assuming, especially since this is going to be his first look at either side of East Meridia, he probably just goes through here. You've got Grav and Ice, and you can do pretty much everything, including the boss, which he already knows is true, but again, wants to defy me in my expectations.
It's gonna work out because the other end of East Meridia, which is the better side, Lenophis can be up at the vanilla entrance on the other side of West Meridia after he does all these checks.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if he ends up doing a little criteria dip. He could end up similar to what MST did, you know. The top of this goes to criteria. That'll give him the last outstanding criteria portal, which is Croc. He maybe is a little bit less incentivized to do Croc than MST was, but, you know, it's still there in a somewhat inconvenient spot for him. So, kind of a do it or leave it forever situation.
Probably a Billy May skill.
We'll have to see how he feels after getting spit back out this way, which we know is going to happen regardless of which thing he finds here, Norfair Turian or Wreck Ship.
You have to go in for the bomb boost, the bomb jump over to the item. I like it.
You know, still varying supers at this point. Even with full beam, which to me, I know I've been talking with a lot of runners, you know, in chat throughout all these races. People very much like to do the Ridley fight with 30 supers pretty much no matter what. I want to say that, like, especially with full beam combo, like, you can definitely start supplementing your, you know, variolous Ridley with some beam shots at that point, but
like if you were to do Ridley right now on this equipment, you'd want the 30 supers. But that's probably been a good bit later after you find some more items. It's probably fine to pass on those.
And, we're gonna have to see what Nevdi chooses. He's got a left versus right kind of deal coming at him. He can check the right side, which has, you know, a portal and the last 3 items, which one of them is the major he knows, or he could look at the top, which is, you know, gonna be harder to get to, especially if he leaves it, but not gonna be something that'll necessarily hurt him.
Well, I think there's no reason not to do East Meridia right here. And then you exit back out to the front and get the transition after.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, check watering hole here for that major. Still looking for Varia. Still looking for better movement items. All they have for movement is going to be that morph bombs. So you do want more than that. Nice jump through the morph hole.
Some runner in chat outing himself for having never looked at low ice for that wall jump strat at the end of Everest. Shout outs to Eddie. So yeah, here's MST finally getting this knowledge of Kraid's lair.
Yeah, we're seeing only reserve tanks still.
Has less health than an FD did when he found this several minutes ago. But you know. So the choice that he's made, and he's sticking to it. Yeah, here's one of those details he can make up the difference with, but you know, very obviously not gonna be doing Ridley healer. You know, 15 supers, no gravity suit even, and you know,
Yeah.
not a lot of health.
Is running into another unbeatable boss though, so really nothing going MST's way. Showing off the change to the aqueduct. Power bomb blocks are now regular bomb blocks on Nevdi's side.
And Nevdi's choosing to just march the boss here. There are 3 majors in this area, so you're only getting 2 checks here. He hasn't seen the Dragon that's in Wreck Ship, is that correct? So he doesn't know that this isn't Dragon.
Right.
So there was that chance for him that, like, exactly, you know, all 3 of the majors are like Botswana, E-Tank, Precious, and Dragon, and you don't have to do anything else. It's not the case though, so you're gonna be clearing out some items at some point. I don't particularly think I feel strongly either way.
I think a trip down a sound pit could have spiked a movement item, and There are rooms here where better movement would speed them up quite a bit. Say multiple seconds.
Yeah, especially something like if they got like Space Jump, for example, you know, Coliseum gets like, I don't know, probably half that room time at least, as well as, you know, the rest of the run being faster.
What was that reset about on Shy Guy's side?
Ridley.
He reset at Mini Crade.
Oh, we did? That's. I was assuming clearly. So yeah, I don't know.
He must have already seen Ridley then.
Got another power bomb pack here in East Meridia. We're gonna find a very easy boss here. Fantoon.
So 1 item in ship. Still 3 items in East Meridia.
Yep. 2 of those items are locked behind the Dragon that is, you know, locked away in wreck ship. One of them obviously Space Jump, the other being Plasma.
Both of those are for Shy Guy.
Yeah. Both of those items are in logic with, you know, we have Gravity Suit, we have Plasma to kill the pirates, we have bombs to get out.
Exactly 1 health.
ST does exactly what he needs to do and nothing more.
Never needed a reserve tank.
He is going to be rewarded with an E-tank in the Norfolk Reserve if he decides to do that early enough, which would be quite the boon to his current situation, as he's finally in the area that we know is progressing the seed forward, but you know, down health and down time and position relative to Nevdi.
Yep. Now digging the first boss kill here at 41 minutes. And also in a pretty good spot for the race. Doesn't have too many more possible locations for Vari to be. Nobody hasn't done Croc, and East Meridia is an option, but not too much else. That wreck ship now has that 1 item.
Yeah, I would say that probably, though these three East Meridia items are probably more attractive than the one in wreck ship. With the added caveat that 2 of the East Meridia item locations are not currently available to Nevdi, but you know, if you full clear this area, which no one ever wants to do, you are guaranteed 1 major. Does have the ice beam to be able to clip to Shack Tool again if he so desires. We'll have to see, you know, how he's feeling about.
I haven't seen too many E-tanks for that various skip. It's kind of the only thing. They're pretty good on other ammo. Screw attack is great. Full beam. So you either want to find that various seed or a stack of E-tanks pretty soon.
And Nevdi does the Scout of Left Aqueduct item, which I've never really understood in full, because like you kind of just want to look at both of them, I feel like, but you know, it's gonna find Speed Booster for major number 1.
Well, didn't take the time to do the snail clip, so worked out.
Always rewarded. Always rewarded.
Okay, let's see this ice beam turned off, Shy Guy.
Or just, you know, the RBO bomb farm is an option as well.
Yeah, that's what Nevdi did. Just gonna go with the 2 hits to kill farm strat. Yeah, all these extra hits is really adding up. Also worth noting that 3 E-tanks is just enough health to get down to the speed booster item. And it's very dangerous to actually collect the items. But it does have crystal flash ammo. Spring ball.
Major number 2 acquired. Speed was left sandpit question in chat, and yeah, I am unsure. of the prospects of getting out of this room, he can stop in certain locations, like here, and just, do this Crystal Flash. Safest
knows.
option.
He had a plan.
So yeah, this is very much going to be the time where we're going to see what Nebdi feels about Shack Tool, or not, because
Jump.
it's high jump. So this was a lucrative area.
Yeah. Good item locations. We did see that checking, I guess left sandpit would have been the good one. Before going to the boss would have saved some time. But
And yeah,
let's get all the items pretty fast.
I was about to ask the same question as Sasha Boss in chat. I think we did just confirm Varia's in wreck ship. Can't be criteria, it's not in Croc. We've cleared out Upper Norfair. Found the screw attack in West Meridia, so yeah. Potentially that speed was required. We'll have to see where in wreck ship the various suit turns up. But yeah, this has all come up Nebdi's way so far. Just doing those quite low health, no movement item hell runs has paid off in the biggest way.
Yeah, and like by the biggest way, that also extends to MST being here now with the same amount of health, even though it's so much later. And just now gonna run into that gravity suit.
And I don't think he's keeping it this trip, frankly. He's got no health and only 9 power bombs.
He did stop to get some power bombs there, but didn't get enough.
Ooh. This is a huge 50-50 that Nebdi's about to face, because he doesn't know that the various suit isn't just free here in Croc. He is going to have the privilege of skipping that Spazer. And yeah, it's charged plasma. I think that makes it a lot easier to make this decision. MST dies a little bit sooner than I expected, but as expected nonetheless. So, gonna have to come up with a different way to keep that gravity suit that you very, very much need in this seed.
He's gonna need a Z tank again too.
Oh yeah. Oh, and wave beam as well. He didn't save after any of those.
You don't need wave beam, but does need ammo and the C tank to keep the gravity suit.
Yeah.
The way that Nevdi ran through Upper Norfair here worked out really well too. Very health efficient with how he did things.
Ooh.
Oh no. King Cact. Yep, Nevdi getting 50-50'd on running into Croc before going back to wreck ship.
That would have been a really cool spring ball if he had managed to pull it off, but gets tripped up by the tripper, potentially, if I just made that pun on accident/purpose.
And there's the grapple beam. Also found it pretty fast, so it can just leave here. And at this point, you definitely look for Varia in wreck ship. We're not thinking about skipping it anymore.
This has not been the seed health-wise to make that a realistic and fast possibility for our runners. So Nebdi's gonna find his way to wreck ship. It's at the G4 door over here on the left side of criteria. I'm not sure how complete his knowledge is, but my knowledge that he doesn't know Retro Burn for sure. So yeah, back of wreck ship is Turian, which is unfortunate given that we have to go there to get Very and then find our way to Lower Norfair later. I guess scouting and finding that out though should tell him that meme route goes to the back of Lower Norfair, which is good for him as far as like what you're gonna do post wreck ship.
Yeah, Nebdi should have a mostly complete map, just missing a transition or two. And Like the route makes you come here for Varia first, so what are you supposed to do? I wonder if it's reasonable not to check the back of wreck ship here. Because you know where Lower Norfair is, the front, and then just follow the back out of there.
I think the fact that it could be back is what would make me check it almost no matter what. But yeah, we'll see what Nevdi thinks. I do believe it's a pure 50-50 from his point, if his knowledge is what I think it is. Well, no, it's not 50-50 because this could also go to... I don't know. I think it's 1 out of 3 to be good.
He does need to get back to Ridley, who's in Kraid's lair. It's like the only way that the front of Lower Norfair becomes an option. But we'll see what he thinks.
Yeah. Gonna do a pretty efficient clear of this wreck ship. Obviously knows that this... Well, he doesn't know what boss it is, but he knows he can kill it because he's seen Ridley. The Dragon that did not hold out the East Meridian items for us. Very, very kind of her. Yeah, has, you know, a choice of a grapple kill or a speed kill.
Or charge kill.
Yeah.
It's only... It's not many shots.
Like 7 or something, right?
Yep, something like that. That sounds right. Oftentimes I just go for the charge kill with full beam.
Definitely health efficient, especially without Varia, the grapple kill takes a lot more. And, you know, chain damage is always a thing that you can succumb to, pretty much no matter how good you are at the game.
We're also seeing that fighting Fantoon was required to get this item in the wreck ship. So is going through things in the right order that way. But also just makes a lot of sense to go for that East Meridia 3 plus boss kill first.
We're safe scumming here. This could be just the item, could be the item and the transition. I don't know how I feel about this, because on one hand, if the item is here, obviously you don't want to do attic and you want to come here first. On the other hand, separating the item and the portal kind of feel bad, but if like Varia is left and Lower Norfair happened to be right for Nevdi, this would have been awkward. So, you know, there were good and bad options for either way. And, you know, our knowledge of it being Torian kind of changes things up as well. But power bombs, resets, no area check.
Yeah, I think if you go for the transition there, then you can't use it no matter what it is.
Yeah, it's
Like, just
either
be
knowledge or Lower
sure.
Norfair. Yeah.
But if it were Lower Norfair, then you'd really want the Varia suit first. Yep, didn't make the transition check, so we're going to be seeing the top of attic right now. Okay, it's right side. West Meridia is the screw attack here at Watering Hole, and then into East Meridia for Shy Guy.
Yeah, and we'll see if he does things the same way as Nevdi is rushing the boss first, or if he ends up trying to get items first. No wreck ship reserve today.
1 missile for the reserve tank.
Oh,
He's out.
just barely didn't see that.
Supers. Very healthy ammo count. 55, 30, 25.
I think
Oh.
Nevdi looked at that item, but it was a long time ago, and I guess he just forgot, or maybe was questioning if he wanted it or not.
I know Shy Guy did. But that would be a way to make a fast check. And if it were the major, you'd be able to skip all these slower checks that he's been doing up till now. But we're down to the Gravity Chozo and the Gravity Suit locations. Both down here after the bowling.
Yeah, Nevdi gets some time to think before collecting his various suit. He's going to have a choice between checking this transition or going to where he knows Nornorfer is.
And we are seeing
I
the
think
snail clip here.
Yeah, I think I'm assuming that he just does the area transition check just because, like, if you don't go there and then you also go to like where you know Nornorfer is, then you really just don't know where Turian is, and you're gonna have to. In that case, you're gonna have to do the Nornorfer check back anyway, but you're gonna get the knowledge some way or another.
There it
As
is.
we get the Chozo area.
Yep. Varia on the Chozo. We saw MST went for the snail clip. I didn't get it, but then went straight to Batuan. So also didn't check the sandpits first. We have pretty much the same equipment for this run to the boss that Nevdi did.
A nice morph into that tunnel. We have not seen Space Jump. It's gonna be the lower Norfair major, I'm pretty sure. Wherever that
X-ray
major may
too.
be. Oh yeah. I guess. Wait, where
One
is
in
that then?
Criteria.
Oh yeah, we do still have
One in Lorne
Criteria.
Warfare.
Yeah. Nebdy's gonna get this knowledge. Bit unfortunate that he didn't save, so he's gonna have to walk all the way back here. At least I don't think he saved.
I believe I saw a save.
Oh.
Like, with the chance of losing that much time, save is pretty fast to do. This path to transition is one of the longer ones. Then there's also such little to do over here on your way to the crab maze. Okay, now nobody knows. And I'm thinking that's full map knowledge for Nebdi. Still needs the Ridley kill and the Craig kill. And I guess they're swapped in this seed. And Fantoon and Dragon were also swapped. So, kind of interesting.
Yeah. So if he wants back a lower Norfair, he is going to be in Criteria and can do that. The front of lower Norfair is in red. Norfair, which is, you know, a red area, but not red tower. And then you'd have to go to red tower for the Craig area kill of Ridley.
Yeah. So I think you definitely leave or enter from the front of Lower Norfair.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe do Kraid first and then come back for this later just because it'll put you back in criteria, but that's without a full scour of the map. But
Well, it's
this
pretty
is
much
also fine.
it's pretty much a loop to getting back to where you started. So the order doesn't matter other than how fast you can do the areas from which direction.
Going through pit room with the enemies in there, you're having to kill them. That's something you almost never see. Yeah. As far as a little bit of a recap of this seed, the biggest thing was just that the progression was, gravity in wave beam with like just not a lot of health. As you can see, like Nevdi's on 3+2 and MST is on 4+0, but it's seen the 2 reserve tanks, so like just not a ton of tanks in this seed, especially early. And home runs were a little bit unattractive. MST did everything except for the home runs for a long time, and that just kind of put them behind. And after all of that, you still had to go through East Meridia to kill Fantoon, and then double back to Wreck Ship to get your Varia.
It's an E-tank. Brings Nevdi up to 4 and 2. Yeah, really early on, Nevdi ran into the E-tank at Kraid's Lair, and then also had the reserve tank that ShyGuy skipped. And so just had the option of doing Upper Norfair, even though it still looked bad.
There was also that extra.
Christian was there.
Yeah, there's also the extra power bomb pack he had early over MST because of the BT skip that MST did. That crystal flashing as well as the extra energy definitely made those home runs more valuable and palatable. So yeah, just routing choices definitely, I'm gonna say, the biggest impact on this seed. There were other somewhat smaller things like having plasma and killing Croc with ammo, but yeah, we find space
Forced
jump.
to pick up Spazer. Nevdi able to skip Spazer. So did have plasma already equipped for that Croc find. So that's high jump first. I wonder if he would feel better about keeping high jump if he already had speed.
Yeah, I have questions about ever not keeping high jump, but who knows? Especially if you're potentially worried about Shacktool here, you would also want that, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like especially after a speed find, I would really, really want those high jump boots. But no. Nevdi fails the quite quick kill just to show off a cool spring ball jump that no one's ever seen. Shoutouts to Nevdi.
Shoutouts to Spring Ball.
And is he forgetting he has spring ball? Unless yeah, he has it because the major count is down from 3 to 2. At least it's bomb jumping, so it's not too bad. But
Yeah, I'm not really sure what MSC sees as the path to victory here is. Spent a lot of time away from Upper Norfair, and is aware about the skipped reserve tanks. Just has to play through the rest of the seed, his own pace, I guess.
he is not getting high jump, which is unfortunate because speed only movement is not the most comfortable or fun thing to do.
Let's see. Did find all the majors though. Yeah, Spring Ball was the Aqueduct, and he snail clipped to that.
Ooh, oh, almost got that grapple jump. So yeah, as Ozzy was talking about with this loop going, full back to front, lower Norfair. This is gonna put Nevd at what is it, Croc door, and then like every upper Norfair transition goes to goes to Red Tower, and then you just gotta kill Ridley and get out of there.
Yeah, getting back to Ridley, it's not in a good place. Coming at the front of Lower Norfair just gets you kind of in the middle of everything. Just work from there. So let's see. Does MST know that it has to be wreck ship?
I think he should. I think he actually had full map knowledge before Nevdi did because of the meme route check, but I could be wrong about that.
I think he knows about all the in logic major locations too. So just gonna run straight there. Very suits at the gravity Chozo, so it is gonna take a full clear of this area before getting it.
Which is also going to be a pretty hard punish of not having high jump for some of these strats, but it is what it is at this point. It is from our vantage point, very unlikely to have an effect on a race outcome, but
Yeah,
has an effect on the speed.
Yeah, from ShyGuy's perspective, it was still 3 bosses left to kill in Torian, so a lot of game left to get value out of that high jump. Okay, so full beam, 26 supers. Good options. Not expecting any struggles at all here with Ridley. Nevd has killed many a Ridley.
Did not do the new route strat where you wall jump up and shoot the beam shot down to get it in quickly and then fire another one, but I do believe he's a new route runner, not an old route runner, so just doing a little bit of a beam and super combination here.
I think of that more of an old route strat.
I thought I said old route at the beginning and then new route, but I can't confirm that I actually said old route first. I was definitely thinking it though.
In new route, you'd still do it sometimes too, if you don't go for X factors.
True, yeah.
But doesn't really matter in this case. It only saves a second. Okay, quick kill. Easy quick kill. Is showing off the speed only jump out of Dragon's area.
He's opening a door that he knows can't possibly have a major, which is curious to me.
It's an E-tank. That's good, I guess.
It feels very late to be thinking about skipping Varia, especially when you're in the location that it's at, but could be on his mind.
So could be forgetting about the high jump is the other one. Could have had the item counter blocked by the objective cleared text. And forgot. But gets an E-tank.
This post-rally routing is pretty nice as far as getting back into criteria relatively quickly, and then from there to wreck ship over on the left side. And yeah, Nevd is going to be close to the end of the game here. We'll have to see if MST does end up going all the way through to collect the Varia suit. It is, as far away as it can get. Even the gravity item itself is just a little bit closer, although you probably do it last in most instances anyway.
Yeah. Also going to the E-Tank check first. This makes a bit more sense because he's not planning on going to the transition after. He's already deduced where it goes. And didn't take a save, so you have to run out. Not saving for the E-Tank check. I like it when you have good items, mostly gravity suit. It barely saves any time to take the save and reset. And if it's an item you want, then you would have lost time making the save.
I do believe we got a bit of a high five there for fun. Showing off the beauty of space jump under the water for Nevdi.
Yeah, there's a lot of doodads in that room in East Ocean. Really changes up how you do the room depending on your item set. Get one worker robot skip. And doesn't need to skip the second or the third one, so it's all good. Oh, that looked like a planned strat for MS2. Where you take a hit on the middle key hunters, and that gives you enough run speed to jump all the way to the far left. It looked pretty fast for what he had. Nifty with the CWJ.
Yeah, and this is Hondo loadout, so it's also, you know, a situation where you have the ability to skip all of the farms if you so desire. With full beam, you're very much not hurting for ammo. Sure, if any of Nevdi's closest comrades are here in chat watching the race, they're gonna have words to say about these Metroid rooms, but you know, getting them done at a good pace and into a baby skip scenario, which I'm very much assuming will be gone for.
Nice blue hopper room. We'll see what kind of baby skip it is. He's in the middle. He's heading left. Cool. Pistachio skip.
We did have both new, old, and spring ball available to us.
Yeah, so Plasma makes a ton of lag in Pistachio skip, but did get through it. Really well done, Skip. Even used the morph ball bomb to knock the baby a very slight amount at the start.
Now we get to see if he shows up his opponent here, not going for the free down back, but just gonna do this, you know, morph ball skip on the second Zeb.
MC in go mode, but Nevdi is in the mother brain fight, so it's looking like a win for Team Vile Plume here. Just has to survive the encounter.
Yep, 2-0 is a pretty commanding lead, although that is the situation that Cutie's coaches were in last round when MST started the 3-0 comeback. This time it'll be up to the rest of his teammates to pick up that slack.
So that's Professor School and John tomorrow. the same time?
It is tomorrow, yes. Hopefully that goes as scheduled at 1 p.m. Eastern. There was a notification to us about
Not the same time.
Professor School's internet. Either his modem is down or something was going on with his internet. So hoping to get that fixed in time. If not, we'll have to be a little bit flexible. But yeah, that's game 3 of this series. And then we do have one more race for you tonight in about 40 minutes. Glove versus Stachio Cat in game 3 of that series, which is also a 2-0 lead. The bullies are up there. So Glove looking to keep her team's hopes alive. And yeah, that'll put us almost at the end of a little more than the halfway point of this round. We do have 2 game 4s already confirmed. We're still looking for game 3 of 18 versus Cat Girls. Hopefully that's going to end up on Monday. Racers are still deciding that scheduling, but still got plenty more action and a lot of high stakes, high octane races coming at you with several good runners available on all teams. So
Yep. It's best of 5s here, playoffs. So we get a week of first 3 matches that are definitely being played. And then time for the potential to follow up. This will be it for the gravity suit match between Vile Plume and Cutie's coaches. Shy Guy showing off the reverse spring ball skip through the bike platform.
something I've never
Tech for the
seen.
escape. Okay. Nobody knows not to run to the right on that door to break the camera. Lose a bunch of time.
Couple more rooms here before Nevdi is going to be on the ship. Hopefully we can get both of our runners in here for an interview, talk about what went down in the seed, and see if there's any more war of words to be had amongst these 2 runners who have been having quite a bit of fun. As there's our first finish. Nevdi's on the ship. Official race time 1 hour 17 minutes and 52 seconds. GG's in chat for Nevdi. It's going to be a little bit before MST ends up forfeiting at around the 121 mark, but he is going to not decide to finish this race as the Vile Plumes go up 2-0 in this best of 5. And we will see how things shake out tomorrow and moving forward.
Just a solid run by Nifty. See what he has to say about it.
Nevdi, if you can hear us, feel free to join us. Maybe getting a microphone or something set up, who knows.
Shy Guys do this lava dive on barely any health.
There he is,
Nifty.
GG's.
GG.
Thank you.
First thing I'm going to let you do is, if you have any particular words for MST after avenging your teammate, you feel free.
No. I like MST. He brings some good banter to the chat. It's really good. There's not too many that do it, so it's always fun. So, no banner unless he comes in and starts, then I'll respond.
Sounds like a plan. So yeah, I saw you talking a little bit in the race time chat with MST about what you thought of this one. This was just some really low health hell runs at the start. So tell us what you were thinking.
Yeah, this is probably like the thing that I'm really bad at is managing it. Like, I can identify when it was a hell run. Like after the Cathedral E-Tank really threw me off a little bit, but I just assumed it was nothing, and the Spore Spawn or the other item I left was the other tank needed. So I was pretty sure it was Wave, but I just really didn't want it to be Gravity. It was so scary when it was, because that was a really, really tough hell run. I mismanaged Ice and I mismanaged the ones after that. So I didn't feel good, but once Gravity was the chain, like once, it was pretty much confirmed that it was in Wreck Ship, I felt pretty comfortable. But until then it was like, yeah, all I could think of was how much time I lost in the hell runs.
Yeah, Crumble Shaft has claimed its fair share of victims this season, so definitely,
Yeah.
I think you were 1-on-1 at that point, like, not the easiest thing to get in and get out. But
It was the way to Ice, like me dropping that wall jump, because I could make it out with that tank, but when I dropped the wall jump, to be able to keep whatever was at Ice, I was a little bit frazzled, I suppose, and then I went back and then I didn't do the Ice Crumble Shaft very well the second time around, and I was like, oh, this is this is pretty bad. But I knew I just had to get it in case the Ice was required. But it's all difficult stuff anyway, so I felt like there's a good chance that MST was going to have some issues too. I was more worried about if the Gravity was the chain.
Especially since he doesn't like reserves.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true. That would have been... Oh no. Did he find some?
I mean, you had a reserve at that point. He did not pick it up. I forget exactly where that was. Somewhere in Green Burn Star, I feel like.
Yeah,
there was also the point of... Yeah, if your mind was in the right place when you barely made it to Ice Beam on that low health, the Super Missile actually gave you enough ammo to Crystal Flash, but you just ended up resetting.
Yeah, wow. Did I have enough power bombs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I wasn't thinking that at all. Yeah, wow. That was a mistake, yeah.
Yeah, just in general, kind of low health. Obviously, you had charge really early and found plasma and ice also pretty early, so didn't need the most ammo, but yeah, just low health, a lot of crystal flashing throughout those hell runs, and then, a pretty long chain to end up getting various suit at, the farthest away location in Wreck Ship, so.
Yeah, I didn't think there was too many decisions to make. After that, I felt like it was you kind of had to do it. I don't even think right at the portal earlier helped at all. So actually there was that croc, but I wouldn't clear croc normally there at all. Like, I just know that it's not going to be part of the chain. But yeah, I don't know why I did it actually. I don't think that anything at croc could have helped me. Like, even me finding Varia there, I could have just come back for it later. So that was probably a mistake to do that, but I guess after that I just knew it was in Wreck Ship, but I was going to clear it anyway, so yeah, it was kind of like the hell runs in that croc check were a bit questionable, but it was hard, so mistakes are going to happen, I suppose. It was one of the worst times I've ever had in this mode, and it was really difficult.
That is true for sure, as MST has joined us as well. GG's to you.
Thank you.
GG MST. Thanks for losing, so I can...
I was
crap to Zeb.
That's the only reason I lost, was to let you have a reason to bully Zeb, so.
Yep, I appreciate it.
I'm still waiting for the check, though. That's okay.
Simo too.
Yeah.
I get to give crap to Simo as well. That's just as powerful. It's good.
Yes, that is actually bad. and Sloters, they're all. I mean, unfortunately for Simo and Sloters, Zeb has at least won a game against them. Simo and Sloters have not.
Undefeated.
I think the
taking
real
that to my
question
grave.
here,
I'm retiring now.
the real question here is, as MST is the giant killer, is Nevdi enough of a giant to have lost? That's the question.
Wow. What?
I've really never heard of him before this. So. No. Nevdi's actually, so there's a few people I really like racing against really good runners because a lot of times I'm not racing these runners a lot. So to me, it's great to run against really good players. Nevdi is somebody I'm died in the escape now. Nevdi is one of the players I've been wanting to race against for a while because he's really good. He's one of the players that I don't think I really have much of a shot against. I thought the same was Zeb, but there's certain rando players who like don't play rando stupid. And if you don't play as stupid, you're going to beat me because I'm just going to be worse than you in everything else. So
yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, that's a good thing. That's how I feel about, or have felt about. Hopefully, I've come a bit better. But that's how I felt about Kip. He just played and plays every game properly, and I'm like, I want to play the same way, but I'm just going to be slower. So I get what you mean. But hopefully, I'm quick enough now. But yeah, I know the idea.
Yeah,
and that's nice.
you,
I was preparing myself for an insult there, so I'm happy that it was a nice one. I didn't want to speak too soon. So
No.
mistake.
No, I like to talk smack a lot, but I hope people realize I really don't mean it.
I love it.
When I join a tournament of whether it's Super Metroid or whatever, I am the worst player in that field, at least in terms of like execution. I think I'm okay in rando, like making decisions, whatever. And I think the majority of my wins come from me either just making a correct decision or, unfortunately for Zeb, as much as I enjoyed beating him those 2 times, I did not deserve either. He got screwed on both seats.
You always seem to have a game plan. I think that when you were saying you play rando correctly, I always sort of do worry because you always have a game plan, or like the certain amount of things that you need to do to win a match, and a lot of people just don't have that. So it's kind of like, oh, that's a win, but you're not a win.
Against better players, I am a lot more aggressive because I'm just not going to win if I'm not.
Yeah.
This seed did not really provide me what I wanted for that.
This seed didn't really favour your distaste for reserve tanks. I think that might have been a massive problem.
Yeah, about that. I'm gonna write an angry email to the Varia people right after this.
Please don't put reserves as logic. Make them E-tanks only.
That would be something for sure. As far as a change, I don't like your odds. May have to contact your local congressman to put some real pressure. But yeah, as well as that, yeah, just low health attained or low health seen or whatever. You just kind of avoided those hell runs for as long as I think you possibly could, and not only did that not pay off.
I was actually hoping to find more E-tanks on the way, and that didn't happen either.
Yeah, I mean, it just gives you exactly enough in the most annoying positions and then chucks it at that spot. It's like really common that it does it. And it's so hard to know which ones you get and what you do. And yeah, I just had to break the wave earlier. I did that last year too, and it was gravity. And it's so hard to get it and get out of there.
Yeah.
At least I had a crystal flash there to help. Yeah. Oh, jeez, it was rough.
Yeah, and then of course, hid every single movement item behind gravity and then eventually Varia. So it was never going to be a good time to get to any of that stuff, frankly.
Yeah, no, this was a kind of seed that I don't think this seed really favored what I would have done. Like, it really wanted you to do a certain path through this. And I prefer, it gave you some options, but they were all dead ends and just terrible, and did not help you with the path it wanted you to take.
Yeah, and there maybe was an option for a suitless LN. I couldn't really see it, but maybe that's how you do this a bit different.
I don't think there was, because at that point, like I was in. It routed terribly because obviously Various and wrecked ship, and that's where terrain was. You didn't want to be there.
Yeah, that's always just awful. Yeah, that's.
But I don't think there was enough. Like, if I had been able to scrounge, the ammo was there. I skipped plenty of power bombs and supers. There was plenty of ammo for it. But I don't know. If you're a good player, there probably was. For me, I would need 70 tanks is the minimum. I'm going in with that.
Yeah.
And there wasn't 70 tanks in the seed. I'm pretty sure.
And you're doing it so late into the seed that it's like, there probably wasn't. And you're doing it so late into the seed, and the path doesn't work. So
I mean, it's like I'm just gonna get Varia anyway. I know it's in wreck ship, so
Yeah,
might as well
yeah,
do
that's
this.
how I felt. I'm like, it's here somewhere. It was nearly
so-
exact last location. It was one item off being the
Yeah,
exact
one item
last
off.
location Varia.
So-
Crazy.
So yeah, there wasn't much of a real chance, I would say, because I'm not competing with Nevdi and execution or movement. That's
Yeah,
not what I
wasn't that
compete
seed
with
with the-
people on.
Yeah, it didn't. The seed didn't give many opportunities, so I felt good after I knew the gravity was required and all that hell run stuff was there because I knew that was just going to be.
Yeah.
You know, as longer as the seed goes, the more execution there is, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Like up until that point, we were seeing MST like kind of take a lead just with the way he was making skips. He was just working out until upper North Fair
they-
was required. And
yeah,
like if
they
it
worked
wasn't,
out at
then
all.
Nifty's doing slow checks.
Yeah.
All I wanted was something to have worked out. I went into. I fell down. I went to Mama Turtle, knowing it was a dead end if I didn't get either. High jump or gravity. And obviously it wasn't there. I was hoping something. I really wanted something to pop that wasn't in Upper North Fair because at some point it's like I know it's in Upper North Fair. I need something somewhere else.
Yep. That makes sense.
So
Dude, that's
you got a
scary
grapple
going
beam. That's what the game decided to give you, a grapple beam.
Yeah, of all things, you get a grapple.
yeah, I got this beautiful grapple beam. I love grapple beam, but it could have led me to something. I mean, I guess it gave me my 4th E-Tank at Croc Escape. But that was a garbage seed, but not the kind of.
It was a garbage seed. It was fun to race. It was fun to race you,
Yeah.
though, Misty. But it was a garbage seed. Maybe next time.
Maybe. Yeah, but it's fun to finally race an MD. He's
Thanks.
been up in there for a while, so it's fun. I enjoy these.
Thanks, man. Cool. Well, I'm gonna go and have some
Alright.
lunch or start my day or something like that. But yeah, big GG's on the race. It's not the final goodbye yet. We've got John and Prof going at it. I think maybe tomorrow if Prof's internet's good. But yeah, thanks again, MST. You know, it was an awesome race. Lofty and DJ, I was really happy to see you two on comms. Really, so I didn't know until 5 minutes before the race when I looked at it. So I'm looking forward to watching this one back. But thanks everyone. And Paragon, of course, our main tracker, it seems, at the moment. Thank you everyone.
MST got down back Zeb skip, so I think he's the real winner of this race. We're gonna have to
That's
deliberate.
It's pretty free, really.
it's changed the race time results.
All right, yeah, but again, shout outs to everyone, and yeah, thank you both for coming in here. I tried to give you a shout out in the chat, and the bot denied me that pleasantry. So Nevdi's Twitch is easily accessible on the stream. Metroid MST, not so much, but I've said your name a million times, so people can find you there,
That's
as
okay.
well as my co-commentator
follow.
Aussie.
MD. Follow good players.
Yeah, Aussie likes to do a lot of map rando. If you want to check that out, good runner to pick up some strats for, and some more esoteric ways. Always learn something on Aussie's stream. And yeah, again, we've got another race coming up in about 25 minutes after delays factored in, so